Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader has more than 58 Archetype Specific Class features spread out over 10 playable archetypes. In this video series, I will be taking a quick look at each and every one of the Keystone Archetype features, abilities, and ultimate abilities, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss an episode. In this video, we are checking out all of the unique features and abilities available to the Warrior Archetype. Again, a shout out to Alcat Games for providing me a feature complete build of the game. So thanks to them, let's get nerdy. The Warrior class has access to 6 different abilities, 3 of which are obtained within the 15 Warrior levels. At level 3, all Warriors gain the Endure ability, and thereafter at level 6 and 11, you are free to choose from any of the 5 remaining class features. Namely Sworn Enemy, Reckless Strike, Forceful Strike, Taunting Scream, and Breakthrough. And of course, each and every playable archetype also gets a Keystone ability at level 1, with the Warrior's Keystone Archetype ability being Charge. First up is the Charge ability, with your Warrior moving in a straight line launching a melee attack against a target in the Warrior's path. Importantly though is that this charge attack does not count against your attack per turn limit. Next up is the Endure Archetype feature, which in essence grants your Warrior a 1-turn reduction to all incoming damage, as well as a buffer of temporary wounds that are consumed first before your Warrior takes actual wounds and debuffs because of those wounds in combat. Next up is Sworn Enemy, with which you select a target within 12 cells and mark it as your quarry, resulting in a bonus to the armor against that selected foe, as well as an increase in the damage dealt with melee attacks against that enemy. With this bonus in armor and damage dealt, scaling off of your toughness and strength bonuses respectively. As an added little benefit, your Warrior will also gain 1 action point if attacked by that target within that turn. Next up is the Reckless Strike archetype feature, giving your Warrior yet another boost to its melee capabilities. When activating the Reckless Strike ability, your next attack gains armor penetration, a boost in damage, as well as reducing your target's parry capability. The downside, however, of the Reckless Strike ability is if you miss, that enemy gets an immediate attack against you. The next Warrior Archetype specific ability is Forceful Strike, which on a successful hit pushes your target back a number of cells equal to 1 plus your strength bonus divided by 2. Next up for the Warrior is Taunting Scream, which in essence aggroes all of the enemies within a specific area who fail a willpower test to focus fire only on you, in essence pulling aggro. Taunting Scream is a super useful ability in combination with the Endure Archetype feature, drawing the attention and attacks of your enemies onto your Warrior character with a high probability of most of those attacks not affecting a huge amount of damage. The next archetype feature is Breakthrough. Breakthrough comes at a 2 action point cost and grants you the ability to perform a slice attack. This slice attack allows you to cut through an enemy's cell, finishing on its opposite side after the attack is completed, making it extremely useful for battlefield positioning, however does come at the cost of a reduction in damage of 50%. The Warrior's movement as a result of this slice attack also does not invoke attacks of opportunity against it. In addition to the Keystone ability that each and every Warrior gets at level 1, as well as the selection of abilities and features available to Warriors at level 3, 7 and 12, each and every Warrior also gets a Heroic Act and Desperate Measure at level 4, which is also known as the Warrior's ultimate ability and is based on the momentum mechanic. The Warrior's ultimate ability is called Daring Breach. If activated as a Heroic Act, the Daring Breach ability immediately restores all action points and movement points to your Warrior character, as well as having it gain agility movement points until the end of its next turn. These movement points gained by activating the Daring Breach can also be used after an attack has been made, increasing your warrior's mobility substantially. Last but not least, the warrior also has no limit on the amount of melee weapon attacks that it can make on the turn that this heroic act is active. On the other side of the momentum pendulum, however, the Desperate Measures version of Daring Breach restores all action points to your warrior for that turn, as well as have it gain additional movement points equal to 2 times the warrior's agility bonus. Now, you might say that sounds very much the same as the heroic act. However, the kicker here is that starting from the turn after the Desperate Measures version has been activated, your warrior will suffer a movement point penalty of 3 for each and every round of combat thereafter, and can also no longer use the charge ability for the remainder of that entire combat encounter. It's also worth noting that the Daring Breach ability can be upgraded at levels 9 and 15. At these levels, you will have one of 4 augmentations to your Daring Breach to choose from. The first of which grants you a +10 to your movement points when activating Daring Breach, as well as no longer invoking attacks of opportunity against your warrior for that turn. Whereas the second option has you gain 4 movement points for each kill made on that turn, as well as enabling your warrior to use its movement points after using abilities within that turn. The third of the upgrade options allows your warrior for a single turn to become the priority target for each and every enemy that you attack successfully. In addition to this, it also grants your warrior a 20% parry and +2 deflection bonus until the end of the combat encounter. Unfortunately, the final upgrade option for Daring Breach appears to have a slight issue at the moment. However, suffice to say that it appears that it will be boosting your attack damage output for a single turn. And there you have it, all of the class ability and archetype features that makes the warrior unique. If you enjoyed, please give this video a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader content. And until I see you again, stay nerdy.